All right, it's the Wednesday evening edition of Weather for Weather Geeks. What a night we had last night. If you were up late following our coverage, we did a long, about an hour and a half live stream on Facebook. I wasn't able to get it to launch on YouTube, unfortunately. It was giving me some trouble, but we did do an hour and a half on Facebook Live, and it was a rockin' and roll, an hour and a half, that is for sure. This is just one of those cases where what happens at the Youngstown Warren Airport is not necessarily at all representative of what happens in a lot of our area. Peak wind gust at the top of the hour last night at the airport, 26 miles per hour, but we probably had 60 to 70 mile per hour winds with thunderstorms in parts of our region late last evening into the overnight. The wind was the big problem, the big story, if you will, but secondary story was the hail. We had quite a bit of examples of quarter-size hail. Hail, at least the size of pennies, was pretty common. Saw some pictures of some quarter-size hail as well. Thankfully, it didn't get any bigger than that, really, in most of the area. We didn't see anything like golf balls or bigger in our area. So the hail was still fairly just conversational, whereas the wind was much more of a problem. We had basically two main damage paths or swaths last night. One started west of Cleveland and then went down through the Barberton, Akron, Canton, Medina areas. The other started around our area and then went right down the turnpike towards the Pittsburgh region. Now we had a lot of wind damage, and I've seen a lot of, as is always the case, a day after a big severe weather event, seen a lot of pretty bad information on Facebook today. A lot of pictures of damage saying that a tornado went through this area or that area, and there's been no confirmed tornadoes in our area, and I kind of suspect it's going to stay that way, even though we did have some rotation in a couple of spots last evening on the radar. No confirmed tornadoes for our area, but as I posted on social earlier today, wind is wind, and your siding, your trampoline, your trees, your power lines, the 70 mile per hour wind that impacts those things don't care if it's a tornado or not. 70 miles per hour is still going to cause a mess, whether it's from a tornado or not. And so just because we had a lot of wind damage and wind gusts that were ferocious, and some people commented about the freight train noise. The freight train noise in tornadoes is the noise of wind. It's the sound of wind. And so winds of 70 miles per hour, whether from a tornado or not, are still going to make that noise. And so, no confirmed tornadoes in our area. We did have some rotation that prompted a tornado warning for a time right here, right around 12:35 to 12:40 last night. We did have a tornado warning briefly for this part of Columbiana County. That circulation that was indicated by the radar lifted pretty quickly right after the warning was issued. We had a lot of problems with the wind from Ellsworth down through Latonia, Columbiana, and down into far eastern parts of Columbiana County as well. And I've seen no indication from the National Weather Service that they're going to go out and survey this. But there was some rotation on the radar. But I suspect it probably didn't come down to the ground, and we probably just had one doozy of a wind event in that zone and a few other zones as well. There were 3 confirmed tornadoes in Ohio, though. One was up towards parts of Lorain and Medina counties. The other was around the Barberton area in Summit County. The other was in Stark County around East Sparta, south of Canton. This lifted once it got down to the Stark-Tuscarawas County line. 3 confirmed tornadoes in Ohio, 1 confirmed in Pennsylvania to the northeast of the Pittsburgh area. But again, as of this recording, no confirmed tornadoes in our area, and I kind of suspect it's going to remain that way. All right, back here in the present. The severe weather risk has shifted to the south with still a small residual tornado watch down across parts of Virginia and North Carolina. Also, severe thunderstorm and tornado watches off to our west, across parts of the Midwest this evening. Not expecting a repeat around here. Severe weather, very unlikely here. Small chance of thunder overnight. This is our next weather maker. It's a cold front that's producing showers and storms right now out here in Chicago and heading through parts of Indiana. As this comes east, it's going to run into more stable air, and I'm expecting not a whole lot more than some pretty innocuous showers overnight with a small chance for a rumble of thunder in the wee hours of the morning, but again, no severe weather around here. And this sets the stage for what promises to be a much different day coming our way on Thursday in the wake of our front. Temperatures will go nowhere, holding in the 40s. And as we get into the afternoon, there's going to be some chilly rain showers that develop. There could be some small hail or grapple with these. I can't rule out some lightning occurring with these showers, meeting the definition of a thunder shower, if you will, not necessarily a storm per se. Not expecting this to be a wind issue, but thunder showers, yeah, could occur in the mid to late afternoon on Thursday. And you see some blues trying to mix in here. I don't think we're going to see snowflakes around here during the daylight hours tomorrow. But again, graupels, soft hail, is going to be a possibility, I think, as we go through the second half of the day on Thursday. Then I do think that some of us are going to see some snowflakes late Thursday night and Friday morning, some snow flurries around. And boy, is this going to be just kind of an unpleasant day on Friday. With temperatures struggling, wind chills a factor as well. Things will start to turn around as we go into the upcoming weekend. Yeah, check out these wind chills Friday morning. Yikes. I mean, it got to 68 today, and the wind chill could be close to 20 by daybreak on Friday. So this is going to be a big, big change. That is for sure. And the wind chills will slowly recover up to about freezing in the afternoon. Wind gusts will be a story as early as tomorrow, gusting perhaps to 35 to 40 miles per hour or so before the afternoon is through. You know, I mentioned the wind is not a big issue with any thunder showers. I'm not expecting thunderstorm wind gusts, but it's just generally going to be windy tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening. It's going to stay very blustery right into the day on Friday. Wow, look at this map. This is the 6 to 10 day outlook showing it is a cinch that this is going to be a colder than average period in a lot of the Midwest. You don't often see the very end of the scale, either on the warm end or the cold end, being drawn on these maps. But the Climate Prediction Center does have basically a 100% chance that this is going to be a cooler than average period in parts of the Midwest, and I think around here as well. It's looking pretty chilly second half of next week, and you see pretty high odds once again of cooler than average temperatures in the 8 to 14 day outlook. So our forecast is improved some for the weekend. 51 Saturday, probably mid-60s for Easter Sunday, although we may have some showers to contend with before the day is through. But boy, after that, it looks like a period of pretty unseasonable chill for right around the middle of April. Thanks for tuning in to tonight's edition of Weather for Weather Geeks. Thanks as always for checking out these long-form weather videos. I know that sometimes these run long, but I know a lot of people appreciate the detail, and I appreciate you sticking with me. And I'll see you back here on Thursday for a new edition of the Valley's most in-depth weather forecast.